Hey everybody, it's Katie Codes. This is part 2 of my coding the Flappy Penguin from Pre-Code Camp tutorial. So if you want to see part 1, that's on my channel. And with that, we'll just jump right into it. Step 36. We're going to position it 40% from the top. And then from the left, 23.5%. 23.5%. Let me check. That looks like it's lined up. Great. Step 37, we're going to change the stack level of the penguin head element. So that's talking about the z-index property. And in front of the penguin body. Now penguin had a 4. So I believe we give it a 5. Is that right? A z-index of 1. Well, the 5 also looked like it worked. Now, let me see why. Penguin head element of 1. What does our penguin body have? Our penguin body has... It doesn't have a z-index. Okay. Well, I don't know. It works for now. We'll figure that out later. To give the penguin body a crest, we're going to create a pseudo element that is a part of the penguin body. Now, I know there's pseudo elements like before and after, so let's do before. And then set the content to be just empty. No. Penguin. Oh, I spelled penguin wrong. Let's check body before, content, and empty string. There we go. Step 39. So pseudo elements are properties that are not really displayed within, how do I say it, with the flow of the document. They just kind of squeeze it in there and cut in line. So this before is going to cut in line right in front of our penguin body because that's the element that it's targeting. Now if we had after the pseudo element penguin body after, it would be targeting right here after this penguin body, or the penguin head, the sun. You can add that on any different element and it just kind of squeezes in there into the flow of the document. And so we're going to position it to be relative to its closest ancestor. Is that right? No, it should be absolute to position it relative to its closest positioned ancestor. Okay. So, give the pseudo element a width, half that of its parent, 50%, and a height of 45%, and the background color of gray. Now, I'm definitely not an expert developer. I'm just doing these code and dev with me to monitor my progress and to keep me on track, and also it's fun to have a little community that you make. And so I'm gonna make mistakes on here, and that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm just gonna try and fix them. I don't always have the answers, but if you have some questions about something that I didn't answer in the video, just comment below and I can try and help you find the answer. And also, like always, I'm just going to search documentation on websites to find the answer for myself, and you could always try that first too. I encourage you to do that because that's what part of being a developer is, but of course reaching out to peers when you really can't understand it, so I'm always willing to help. Okay, giving the pseudo element bottom corners, so border radius of 100%, so leaving the top left and the top right. Let me put the percents here, 0%, 0%, and 100%, 100% for both of those bottom, left and right corners. Let's see. Ooh, it looks nice and rounded out. He's got a little, looks like a little turkey neck, little wiggly thing. Increase the pseudo element's transparency. Transparency by 30%. Let's see. Opacity. Okay. Opacity 90%. So I think we should put the opacity at 70%, increase it by 30%. That means, right? 70% opacity? Love it! Okay. See, that's something I didn't know right away, but I just, really quick search can help you figure that out. Okay. Starting with the penguin's face, add 2 div elements within the penguin head. Give them both a class of face. And I am just going to copy this first div, put that second one in there, and it works. And let's go to step 45. Give the face elements a width of 60% and a height of 70%, and a background color of white. White. Okay, you got little cubes that popped up. and make the top corners of the face element have a radius, so border radius of 70% for the top left and right corners, and the bottom corners have a radius of 60%. There we go. And they're still sitting on top of each other, I believe, so we can only see one. Position the face elements so that they are 15% from the top, so top 15%. There we go. And it's 15% from the top of their parent div, which is the penguin head. And so that's why it wasn't like 15% of the top of this whole page div. Okay. Yes, they're on top of each other. So to fix this, add a class of left. So we're just going to go from here after the face class, insert left, and then the second is going to have a class of right. Let's check. Lovely. So step 49. Target the face element with the class of left. So we just need to put left in here. And position it 5% from the left of its parent. So we put left 5%. There we go. And it looked like, oop, dot face dot left. Well, can't we just target dot left in the first place? Okay, but I'll do what you say, free code camp. So target the face element with the class of right and position it 5% from the right of its parent. Right 5%. There we go. Looks like a little place to put those penguin eyes at. Very cartoon style. And add a div inside this right element with a class of, wow. Sometimes it is really crazy how a little typo can just really make all your code look wild. Or when you haven't closed your div element yet. Like I didn't close my chin div yet, so everything on the page just looked really crazy. And sometimes when things happen like that and I can't see what my mistake is, just I Control Z, I go back a few steps, retype the code that I was intending to put in, and it fixes it, because sometimes that is just easier than struggling for 30 minutes trying to find your typo or what you didn't close or something like that. So we're going to target the chin element and give it a width of 90%. See, there we go, I made another typo. That width always gets me. So sometimes copying and pasting is actually, to your advantage, and sometimes typing is. Either way, you gotta make sure you're copying and pasting the right things and that you're typing the correct things. So sometimes typing it out, you have more, paying more attention to what you're putting in there. And then sometimes if you copy and paste, it has its advantages because you don't have to type everything out, but you might not be pasting in when you're supposed to be, or yeah. We made it to step 52. We completed step 52, so we're halfway through this penguin, and I need to start a new tree on my forest app. So penguin, Flappy penguin, we're just gonna put penguin Flappy on there. Okay, so now back to our code, step 53. So it's going to be 25% from the top and 5% from the left. Then give the top corners a radius of 70% and 70% for the right one, and the bottom quarters both radiuses of 100%, the bottom right ones. Look at that, look how cute that made his little face go. And it appears all to be one seamless shape for his face, but actually we know that there are 3 shapes in there. And so far the face chin elements have the same background color. Create a custom CSS property called penguin face and set it to white. Background color white. Now I know I've dealt with these little dash elements before, and I don't really remember, so this is getting a little stuck here. Okay, create a custom CSS property called penguin face and set it to white. Let's see at our hint. You should use the root selector. So now we need to break out the documentation. Root selector. Okay, the root is a pseudo class that matches the root element of a tree representing a document. So root background yellow selects the root element of the document. HTML, CSS, root. Okay, so we're gonna put root and then the background color to white, I believe. Let's see. Okay. Root penguin face. Oh! Yeah, I think I'm creating my own. Yes, I think I created this with the city skyline before. Also on free code camp. But okay, so penguin face and set it to white. And yes, and then we're just going to be able to use that penguin face to set the colors of other things. The penguin face class. Okay. And that's why we put it in the root of our document, because it's something that's going to be, how do I want to say it? It's something that's going to be able to be tapped into all throughout the different areas of our document. So the body, we can tap into the root, anywhere on our page. If we want to do something with the back mountain, we can tap into that root area to create that. Okay, so replace property values with your penguin face variable. So instead of using white here, we're going to use this penguin face variable. So where do we have white at? Okay, we have the background color white. We're just going to change it to penguin face. Is that right? That doesn't look right. Okay, penguin face. Okay, we're just gonna try this and see if it works. Okay, white. Penguin face. This is not working. Okay. Let me see what I'm doing wrong. You should give face a background color of variable. That's right. Variable penguin face. Yes. Okay. So, variable penguin face. There we go. That popped back up. And where else did we have our white? Okay. Maybe penguin body. Variable penguin face. Let's do that. Why not? Background color penguin face. Actually, I don't know if we're supposed to do it in the body area because it's not part of the penguin face, but it accepted it, so okay. Maybe that's because if we want to go in and make our penguin pink later, with a pink face, the body's gonna match him. So that is actually what the purpose of this. You can just change the color of that one variable, that penguin face, and then it's going to change all of those elements to that color that you have set to it in just one fell swoop. So below the chin, we're going to add 2 div elements, each with a class of I, and then also give the first one a class of left, and then we're going to copy that one and we're going to paste it, and we're going to change this left class to a right, and now we have 2 divs, one for our left eye and one for our right eye. Okay. Step 57, target the eye elements, give them a width of 15%, a height of 17%, and a background color of black. Oop. Make sure we spell everything correctly and put our spaces in appropriately. And you know what? Well, this is for the eyes. You could set the gray on here of this penguin to a pseudo element as well, and then we could change those colors later in one fell swoop if we wanted to. But eye elements, we want to position 45% from the top and give all the corners a radius, so we don't have to type in 4 different percentages in here. We can just put 50%. That's going to give all of our corners 50% radius, and we have that nice circle. Okay, and step 59, target the eye element with the left class and position it 25% from the left of its parent, and then target the eye element with the right class, and we're going to position it 25% from the right of its parent, and that looks right, and it is. Let's go to step 60. Within each eye element, add a div with a class of eyelid. Then we'll close that div out, and of course just copy it and paste it into our right eye as well. Okay, step 61, we're really making some progress. Target the eyelid class div and give it a width of 150% and a height of 100%, and then a background color of penguin face. So we set that penguin face to be white, so it should show up as white. I'm not seeing a change. Did I do something wrong? Eyelid, why is it always with this width? Okay, width 150%, let me see. Eyelid, a background color, and I made the same mistake again. Variable penguin face. Yes, when you're setting it, you don't have to put that variable, but when you're using that pseudo element later, you have to put variable parentheses and put your color inside. And there we go. Now we can see the eyes disappeared because they're covered up by our eyelids. So, does this penguin blink at the end? I don't remember him blinking. I remember him waving his little flipper, but let's see. So, he's going to be 25% from the top, and from the left, negative 23%. And then border radius 50%. What shape is that going to be? A circle? Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're making him have cute little smile eyes. So that's his eyelids are pushing up and making him have cute little smile eyes. Okay. Below that element, add 2 div elements, each with a class of blush. Also give the first blush element a class of left, of course, and then we're going to give the other one a class of right and yes. So blush left, change that other one to say right, and check our code. And we're moving on, guys. Step 64. Target the blush elements and give them a width of 15%. Why is that always... Why am I always doing that with width? I cannot spell. Height, I can spell, I just can't type it. I get ahead of myself. Background color to pink. Okay. And the blush pops up here above his head. Obviously, we're going to have to reposition that. I'm sure we're going to shape them. Are they going to be little oval shapes? We'll see. Yes. So top, 65% from the top. And they're going to be little circles because we're giving them a border radius of 50%. I don't know. Oh, I guess because the height is only 10%, so it's not quite a circular shape. Okay, target the blush element and with a class of left and position it 15% from the left of its parent, and then target the blush on the right and position it 15% from the right of its parent. There we go, that looks cute. Hey, thanks for watching part 3. I'm gonna have posted soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. Thank you.